Hello, hello. It's a week later now, and welcome to the next episode in social media marketing for businesses. Still got another couple of seconds. I always like to give to people to log on and before I get started into the details of everything. But yeah, in general, we covered last week. More about how the social media work, what it's about, who goes where, and the audiences that dominate each channel. And this week, I wanted to take a little bit more of an approach on how exactly what to post, when to post, how to post it, what to do, etc., etc. Just generally the technical stuff, how it should work. But anyway, so 2, 1, here we go. Welcome to the next NC Web Dev Digital Marketing Series webinar on social media marketing for businesses, part 2. Live webinar that's being broadcasted in over LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. Primarily, we focus on LinkedIn, so that's the best place to catch us. But anyway, if you can't get us on LinkedIn, you can always try Globmer Productions channel. That's what we're running now on YouTube, and our business page on Facebook. We're not there that much, but it's a place to be able to catch us as well. So let's get into it. Last week we talked about some little stuff. This week we're going to talk about how to get on the platforms. We defined everything last week, and this week we're going to start talking about what exactly steps you should take. So the presentation is similar to last week. This one definitely is. It's a list of social media apps. Showed that last week, but since maybe some of you weren't here, then figured I'll just do a rerun of this, and you could just see how many things there are. I mean, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, big ones. There is TikTok here. I didn't mention that last week, but I intentionally leave it out because I don't think it's a good app to have in your phone. But LinkedIn, Pinterest, Tumblr, Reddit, blah, 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 Houzz, Vanilla, Nextdoor, Crunchyroll, My Anime List, Letterboxd. There's a bunch of stuff. And it's always like what you use, that's where you should be that's where you can be most successful, is where you feel most comfortable with. Just because the platform doesn't have billions of people doesn't mean you can't make any contacts there. Just, use whatever you're comfortable with. Here the list continues. So I just don't want to spend too much time on this because I did talk about it last week. So let's get into this. Social media overview. Today I just want to focus on the top 4. I mean, you got your Twitter, you got your Meetup. There's different ways you could do. Meetup, you basically open up a group. You want to host a group, and you have posting events and stuff. So if you're all like sculptors, if you're a painter, if you like to collect stamps, you create a group, you get all the people of interest and stuff. And that's what Meetup is about. Quora is a bunch of questions and your answers. Good conversations on Quora for sure. And it's a good way to show people that you know what you're talking about. Then you got the smaller ones, which I'm not going to get into today, but we could do a separate thing on that. It's a Swarm, Rumble, Shaper, Yelp. Again, covered that last week. If you will just go back and watch the video, I talked about that in a little bit more detail if you didn't catch up on that. So let's get on with it. First one is monthly active users. Monthly active users in billions. Again, same thing as last week. Facebook, Instagram dominate. YouTube is catching up because of video. If you want to get involved, you got to do a video. You're watching one right now. Just goes to show you it reaches the audiences. So, how to get free YouTube subscribers. Free, quote unquote, subscribers. By subscribing to and liking channels as instructed by somebody who knows what they're definitely doing, and will invite you to do that, and will tell you, oh, you got to come to my channel, and then I will reciprocate, and I will just subscribe to you. You subscribe to 20 of my channels, and then maybe you get 10 back or something. Problem is, most of these people use farms, bot farms, and what happens is, you may get some followers, but you will not get the interaction and the engagement. So stay away from that, because you're basically becoming a click farm for them. So they'll tell you, you do it, they won't give you as much back, and like I said on the bottom one, bots don't engage. So get 1 million subscribers for $20. Don't do that. It's worthless. It may show some of your audience, you get a lot of subscribers, but it's social media and it's across all of these platforms. You got to interact. If you don't interact, you can't be effective on social media. Simple as that. It's all about human to human interaction. With ChatGPT, maybe human to AI interaction. I just ran into something like that on LinkedIn not so long ago, last week, 2 weeks ago, and the guy's in some group and he was like, "Oh, while this may be true, this," and when he repeated the same sentence 3 times, I was like, "Yeah, that's just a ChatGPT type. Either he's copy and pasting it or it's just a bot." And he was trying to be interactive, but I was like, after 3 exchanges, I was like, well, you're still using the same phrase. You're still using the same kind of opening thing to your opening few words to your sentences. And it doesn't look natural. So, sorry, I can spot a bot. I was like, oh, so what do you mean I'm a bot? Well, I mean, you're a bot. So the conversation is over and that was it. I ended the interaction. The right way to do it. The right way to get subscribers, there's only one right way, and it's the only one to build it. There's only one way to build it. It takes time. I do warn you, it takes time and takes money, therefore. So the right way, ask your viewers. You put a video, always ask your viewers to follow, to interact, to comment, and then don't forget to comment back. When you're making your video on YouTube, always end it with teasing for what's coming up. What do you have in store? What's coming up next week, next day? The frequency is up to you, whatever you can do. Even if you do 1 video a month, you're still building up your channel. Yeah, sure, you're going to do 1 video a month. It's not going to be that effective. The growth is not going to be humongous, but you'll get growth. Interaction, friends. Get all your friends to get on your channel. That's a good start. And get them to comment. Get them to do stuff. That's how you get moving. I mean, there's a whole video about how to start a movement, which means if you want to get everybody dancing in the streets, you first have to be up there dancing yourself. Then only when a second person joins you, that's when it starts. It's just human nature. That's when it starts picking up and more people come in. And the more people come in, the faster it grows. And let's talk about just dancing. It's not even talking about like social media, which is just generally the same thing. I mean, it's human interaction. When people see other people talk, they'll start talking as well. When anything you produce, always brand it. Brand your channel. That means get your banner up there, get your logo in the right place, and always use branding. Branding is the only thing how people will remember you. People will see a logo, people will see a text, people will see a slogan, they'll remember it's you. That's how you imprint yourself onto others. And channel trailer, make sure when you're setting up a YouTube, you have a good trailer prepared, which can start auto playing as soon as somebody visits your site. So it's make sure it's descriptive, make sure it's interesting enough, make sure it tells people what they can expect on your channel. An important one is branding. I said brand everything. Don't forget to brand your thumbnails. The thumbnails, the little things that show the pictures that show before the video starts, put a branding logo on it. Don't do it without it. Again, you got to brand everything. Create playlists. Once you start building up your channel and your content, don't forget don't forget to separate it into playlists. That way it makes it easier for people to follow a certain topic. So you say you're going to have something about videos, how to make videos. So yeah, this is what it is. Then you're going to have something about how to fix cars. Well, make sure it's a channel on that. I'm selling, I don't know, perfume. So just if you make videos about it, make sure there's a playlist that just shows that. So that way it's easier for people to go back and forth, or they don't have to go back and forth. They could just go to a topic and then see all the videos that are on there. Just an idea. And then also what's important is consistent schedule. When you decide you're going to post once a week, post once a week. Post at about the same time, at about the same hour. I mean, it could be, again, I don't want to spend an hour on each one of these channels. There is specific things. We could do a separate training, or give me a call, or just reach out to me. We could talk about that. We can have a session of it just specifically on that. Because there is best times to post on each of those each of the social media platforms. So even YouTube has the best times to post. But whatever it is, whatever times you're trying to hit, always stay consistent so people can come back and know that it's coming. Know that they can be ready for it, they're waiting for it, they can tell their friends and whatever. So just that's a promotion, consistency. Also, if you want to get followers, use all of your social media platforms. That means YouTube is easy because it can be embedded into your website. That way people watch it on your website, but they're actually on the channel as well. They know about it. Make sure you post it on your Facebook feeds or your Facebook wall. Again, ask your friends to either share or like or whatever. And don't forget to use keywords and hashtags. Those are important. Select the right ones. Again, use a bunch of tools. We could get into there's another whole lesson or a webinar on of itself, what tools to use to select the right keywords. And I think we've done something on that, but maybe not so much details, and use a couple of hashtags. I think like 3 is the ones for YouTube that are the best. And also it's good to collaborate. That pretty much goes for all the channels, but especially the ones where you're dealing with videos, you want to collaborate because you get the audiences from both parties. Generally, if they're good collaborators, they'll be happy that they get your audience and you reach their audience. That way you boost your mutual promotion. Facebook. That's the next slide. That's very interesting. Facebook free followers. Don't get them. Same across platforms. Do not buy followers and likes. While YouTube may not delete them, Facebook will. About 10 years ago, I bought some followers for like $20. I bought like 1,000 followers. So it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm buying these. I was like, oh yeah, give me 1,000 followers to my digbet.com page. And so about 1 o'clock I paid. By about 4 o'clock, they had like 1,000 extra followers. Great. By 8 o'clock, there was again nothing. Facebook just went. They have their own AIs and chat bots and bots in general, security bots that just follow this stuff and they'll delete your stuff. So it's like just throwing your money out the window. It's the same thing. It's just doesn't make sense. The right way to build the Facebook audience is Facebook, as I said before, it's 71% of Facebook is social. Is 71% of users use, not social because they're all social media platforms, but 71% of people use Facebook to stay in touch with friends. So if you're just going to tell them, oh, buy my product, this is my product, buy my product, buy my product, that's not going to be as effective. 80% of your updates on your business page and on your personal page as well should be social. That means giving some social interaction, telling people have some added value. Just be indirect about your selling. Just put your brand out there. It's not an e-commerce store, Facebook. Now, if you want to increase your organic traffic, what you're going to do is you need to put evergreen content. While current events are great, and yeah, you always want to ride the news and stay up with the headlines and stuff, but the thing that's going to collect a lot of organic traffic on Facebook, and as I said, Facebook is not great at focusing organic traffic, but the way to get it, one strategy is to do evergreen content. That means topics that people will be going back to over and over and over again. I mean, that's what you want to do. You want to put down something that people will be looking to learn every year. You know, some things that just never change. Some principles in life that just don't change. So that's that's the way to do that. Now, an interesting strategy is to create a group for engaged audience members. Now, what that is Facebook added that only a few years ago. You were not able to do that before. And in the stone ages of Facebook, you couldn't even join groups as a page, really. And most admins, same as me. I mean, I administer a Facebook group with 10,000 members. So I know how that is. Been doing that for 10 years. And in some cases, you didn't even want pages because pages usually were just spammy. Exactly, 80% supposed to be social, so there was just spam, just buy my stuff, follow my page and stuff. I just deleted them. I was like, that's it, just you're out of here. It was a group focused on one topic, and that's how I wanted to keep it. But now Facebook opened up this function for business pages, where a business page, if you get, let's say, 1,000 followers, well, there's no minimum limit on this, but you could just, you could have 0 followers. But once you get a couple of followers and you want to get into deeper interaction with them and you want them to be able to upload pictures, send you stuff, and, go get some back and forth, because just regular business page has some limitations to it. But what happens is if you build a group that's tied to a business page, gives you a lot more leverage, a lot more interaction with your audience, because they're also your custom audience. I mean, they're the ones that already bought something from you, know you, have been in touch with you or something. So you always want to be in touch with them, and this is a nice way to do it, is do it within your own group. You can have it closed, private, open, whatever, but it will be a group that's basically sponsored by that page. Now, the interesting one is use Facebook as your page. What that means is you log into Facebook, and on the top right, you're going to have your profile picture, and you interact and you talk and blah, 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 and you do what you do, post. And on Facebook, it becomes social. But then this feature is you change that profile, you click on it. Once you have a business page, you can use Facebook as your business page, because I think I have like 15 different pages that I administer. And I could switch back and forth and use Facebook as each of those pages, and they're totally unrelated. They're like 15 separate profiles I have, but they're all tied into my name, of course. But I could use Facebook and be basically with no links, no followers, no nothing. I can have NC Web Dev, I have Globmer, I have the TickBat, I have the Hockey Bet, and I have all sorts of pages that I use, and something about also. I forget, there's like 15 of them that I use. But I don't use that. I never got into this feature because it's like basically building another profile. It's like you have to follow, unfollow, like, interact and stuff. And it gets pretty crazy. But if you have one company that you want to promote, this is the way you do it. You could switch to that, and you could comment, like, and interact with all your friends that you tell them, listen, I'm going to follow you. You like my page, I'll follow you, and I'll get in there. And you can get into groups that way now too. So yeah, you use Facebook as your profile, and then as your business page profile, and then use stories with links. Like I said, it's 300 million users. Last week I said that 300 million users daily follow stories, and those are powerful. And you can use those as a Facebook page. You post stories as a page, as a business, and you could put links. You could link directly to products, articles, news, whatever you want. But you get exposure, big exposure. Conversion rates may be lower, but you get the exposure. So you get traffic. That's how you can drive traffic to your page. And then sending requests on Facebook. While other platforms are limited, Facebook is relatively unlimited, and it will tell you by itself, listen, you've been like sending too much, or you have too many friend requests that were not replied to yet. So you need to remove it. And they'll pause you. They will not block your account per se. They will only pause it and say, listen, you're blocked for like 1 hour. I think one time I tried it, like, because I'm also a member of, I think, like 50 groups, or maybe 100, probably a couple of hundred. Anyway, when I post something on my business page and I want to share it to, like, let's say all 150 groups, they won't let you do that. They'll only let you share like 20 a day, something like that. I think 20 a day you could do shares to groups. And then later on, you could do it again. Maybe you could do it twice a day to share about 20. But it'll tell you, like, you've been sharing too much. It's not natural. So, we're going to pause you for a while. So that way, you've done a little too much. You look like a bot at that point to them. And so they'll slow you down. But they will not block you for these activities. It's not like the censorship and everything else that they do. But yeah, this is the way they want you to use the features. Anyway, that's Facebook. So if you have any questions on that, let me know in the comments. Ask. I'll reply. Okay, now the fun one. Instagram free followers. Well, Instagram is operated by the same owner, Facebook. So their strategies to fight spam and bots and everything else is quite similar, if not identical in certain cases. But then again, it's a little different platform, works differently. So there is differences. Anyway, so offers to get exposure on large accounts. Bots, low engagement. Very easy. Since I've reached my 1,000 followers on Instagram, I started getting these invitations. Oh yeah, come to us. If you want this exposed on our site, we have 10,000 different followers and blah, 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 blah. Well, again, it comes back to the interaction. So you give them $10, they'll put it with your tag, they'll tag you in it, and they'll put it in there on their Instagram account. But generally, you're not gonna get much engagement. They get to $20, or even $5 or something. But those are all bot accounts, and so you're not gonna get much engagement. It looks good, you're being posted, some people will see it, but always follow the interaction on Instagram. I mean, don't try to fall for these buy me, buy this, buy that. It just don't work. The right way. The right way to do Instagram. Well, the way I've built it to over 1,000 followers to become a nano influencer is post quality content, images and videos. The newer one is more interactive, is carousels. I didn't mention that here, but that means posting like multiple pictures at once. Although every time I posted that, I think they got less interaction for my content, which was a food blog. But hey, it works. You just got to be good quality, got to get good lighting. Again, a lot of people. I mean, the Instagram, you have like 90% of the people that have Instagram also contribute posts. So there's a lot of content, and if you want to stand out, be good. That's what it comes down to. Use hashtags, use lots of them. I mean, sometimes I tried with 5 or 10, it worked. If I do 20, it works even better. Ideally, you don't want to do too much again. It's just kind of feel it out, see what your audience is like, and see what Instagram tells you, and how you engage and stuff, because it changes every couple of weeks, probably sometimes even daily. I mean, so you do something in the morning and we changed the algorithm, it's going to be different the next day. And Instagram especially, liking, commenting, inviting to follow, those are big things, because you need to really like a lot of things. So for example, what I did is, and that's a combination with the next one, is you follow somebody, or you like, for example, 10 of their pictures. So if you like 10 of their pictures, they'll more than likely like a lot of your pictures back. Then you can unfollow them, but because they will start following you, and they will, because you always want to have a ratio of, like, if you want to be an influencer, you need to be over the ratio of 2 to 1. So you need to have twice as many people you follow, vice versa. You need to have twice as many followers than people that you follow. So that number, like if you have more people you follow than actually follow you, doesn't look that good. That's why you gotta always unfollow, and just be careful who you follow, who you want to keep as a follower, who interacts a lot with your page, and you go back and forth and you find your right groups. And then even if you unfollow that person, go back, even if you unfollow them, say, oh, who liked me? And then go back and just keep going back and liking their things, commenting on it, saying that's great. And the thing about Instagram, I think, off the top of my head, I think it's if you want to make a comment that's considered a comment by the algorithm, I think it's 4 words that you have to use. Like any comment below 4 words does not even count as comment. Like, great. Okay, well, if you didn't comment anything, it'd be the same thing. So you need to have at least 4-word comments. And the same thing, people will comment back to you. And again, they get to see. It's, spend a lot of time doing it. I mean, and you got to do it in order for you not to be considered spammy unfollower. There's 2 things you got to do. You can't exceed more than 30 per hour. So you can't just do in the morning, like go to 100 and then because then your account would be blocked. And then when you unfollow somebody, they don't know you unfollowed them, but they'll know eventually because their number goes down. But you go back to their account, you like their stuff, you commented, even if you don't follow it, you don't have to follow them to comment and like it. And so it's kind of tricky. It's a way to do it. I mean, you could always use paid stuff, but that's not that great. It's pretty expensive, as I said. Instagram is one of the most expensive platforms to put your money in. And important is collaboration. Again, it's, for example, you start a group of people that will all follow one certain hashtag. That's how you build up that hashtag. And you just send the links to each other, and you like each other's stuff, and that's how you grow and you develop and you improve and you grow up in that Instagram. In the Instagram algorithm, it will bring you up. But again, you got to work with other people. You can't build Instagram on your own. You can't build any channel on your own. But I mean, because you always need followers and follow back. But Instagram, you need to have interaction of a lot of people that come together, let's say 5, 10 people, and they constantly keep changing and adding and taking away and stuff. It's quite interesting. It's good, but that's the way you got to build yourself up. Talk to a lot of people and use them in your stories, use them in your videos. Like live works really well. So, and now Facebook Live with multiple people work really well. Until last year, they started doing Reels. So now Reels, the short little videos, the competition TikTok, those are the ones that are most interactive. So that's what you want to do. And again, here, stories with links. People follow stories. So even if you don't post anything, any picture, do a story. That way you stay relevant to your clients. And stories also you can use the links, and they get you a lot of reach. And again, just like anything else, Instagram, you should do about 2 posts a week. If you post every single day, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you want the post to get a lot of engagement, you want to keep posting only like 2-3 times a week at most. And again, post at about the same times and follow your audience and see which post at what time reacted the best. There's no single formula. I know a guy that did something with dogs, and he said, because I have a lot of fans in England, the best time to post something was at like 6 o'clock in the morning. He says, then I get like, it just goes skyrocket. If I post the same post at 2 p.m., get nothing. So timing is everything in Instagram. And now here we go to our favorite LinkedIn free connections. The number one enemy of LinkedIn is automation. LinkedIn says that it tolerates 0 automation. While that is a tough policy, and I'm sure that they try to follow it to the best possible, it's impossible to eliminate automation completely. So depending on your profile, they will allow some. But you also have to do other content, and you can't just have automation. Because a couple of years ago, they got these bots and programs. I think it was a LinkedIn manager or something else, and then people they created fake accounts and they started doing 2,000 connection requests a day, and they were like, oh no, this is not natural, and so they fought it back against it, and they've been doing a good job. I think LinkedIn is pretty well balanced right now in that department. But beware the number one scam, so-called, on LinkedIn. It's interaction as well, but I think it's scam, is lead gen companies from Macedonia, from Taiwan, from Philippines, from India, from Pakistan, where lead generating. There's a lot of former Russia, the Baltic states, and all sorts of places that will offer you. Oh, we have definitely lead gen. And I played with it once with one of the offers, and I was like, send me a contract. And the contract says, well, you send me $100, and if I don't find you anything, the next week is free. I'm like, yeah, okay. So I send you $100, and if you don't do anything, then you don't do anything for me for free next week. Okay, great. That works really well. So, we kind of parted ways on that one. She was surprised, but I was like, she tried to touch up with me again, or get in touch with me again a couple of weeks later, and I was like, don't even bother. It's like, I'm gonna be chasing around Philippines to get my $100 back. So you're not getting $1 up front. Show me what you can do. Anyway, so the right way to build, that was my personal experience, but the right way to build LinkedIn, the limit, that's debatable. As I was reading lately, you can send out 100 connection requests a week. On those, you always need to send an intro message. Don't just, connect, boom, click, and go away. You gotta craft a message where you're gonna introduce yourself. You don't want to be too salesy, so you don't want to tell people, this is, hello, I want to connect because I want to sell you something. That's not gonna work that well. You just want to say, listen, is it okay if I connect with you? Because this is what I do. You may be interested, maybe not. If you're not interested, no problem. Have a great day. If you're interested, let's connect. Let's stay in touch, and let's see, maybe not now, but in the future, you may need my services, blah, blah, blah. That's a nice way to do it. Now, with the limits, it's said to be 100 a week. I didn't test it yet, but just when I was preparing this, I read a little bit more in depth, and there are some profiles they let do 200 a week. But I don't know. The limits change because they cut down some limits, then they increase them again. So it may be up to 200, but literally, I mean, 100 to 200, how fast you want to build it. You want to really go fast, crazy and stuff. The bigger volume you do, the less quality people you're going to get no matter what. And generally, if you just do second level connections, you do a search and then you go one by one, even manually or using some automation, you're going to get about 20% increase. So that means you could get 80 new connections a month. And that's about the rate. You could calculate it and, you know what you're going to get. And that's how you let your LinkedIn grow little by little. But 80 a month, it's 1,000 people a year almost. So go figure. To expand your business network by 1,000 new contacts every year. And if you interact well, if you talk to them, it's good quality stuff and it's good enough pace for most entrepreneurs and startups and whatever else. Just want to build it slowly and you want to focus on good content. You also should, if you want to start a business and if you're just looking for employment, you should have a business page. Business pages, they let you invite, which is on the last piece here, but they let you send out 250 invites to business page every month. If somebody likes you from the people you send it out to, then you get that credit back. But on the first of the month, you get all 250. So every month you can send 250 regardless of results. The LinkedIn is the hungriest platform for content because YouTube is flooded. Facebook is flooded, of course, with not only quality but low quality content. Instagram, 90% of people post some kind of content. Whereas on LinkedIn, it's a small percentage. Last number I read was about 2%. I think it may be a little bit bigger now, but still, even if it's 10%, there's a lot of room. And it's a lowest usage or lowest number of people, but lowest also percentage of content. So you got a lot of room to grow. So, and the way you do it is you write articles. And if you have a business page, you could start a newsletter. I think your newsletter is for personal page as well. And as people like you, they follow you, they get notified when you write an article. Try to make that article about 600 words, add some little pictures to it, make it look good and make it on the topic and make it educational. Always have to have value. And, you can't just write 5 or 6 words and say, hey, yes, look, me having coffee. That's Facebook type stuff. I mean, some people do that. It'll get them some interaction. But if your wall, all it shows is I'm having a cup of coffee, do that on Instagram. Your posts are not gonna have a lot of reach on LinkedIn that way. Here and there it'll work, but you could also, but not in the long run. But you can tell personal stories, of course. So that's where that kind of becomes Facebooky, but it's not really because it's different type of stories and different types of It's still, if it's a story. You're not going to say, oh, I'm at my best friend's wedding and we got drunk. You're going to say, yeah, listen, this is a story. I went to this business trip. I got this and then my family was there. And then it's my son. That's who I do my business for, stuff like that. It's got to be personal, but it's got to be also professionally done. So that's that, brand or work related. That's what I was just talking about, and professional interaction. That's the number one LinkedIn is good for, is you're interacting generally with professionals. You don't get that Facebook hero type stuff where everybody starts cussing each other out anonymously, but so that's LinkedIn is like better in this. And then we do here, the webinars. The webinars are, we run them every week. You could once a month, doesn't matter. But the limit on invites each week is 1,000 per user. So that means, like, for example, me and Jason work together on this webinar, and so I can send 1,000, he can send 1,000. So if you got 5-6 employees, they could each send 1,000 invites every week. That's a lot of reach. That's how you build your business. That's how you build your network. You let people know. So, that's LinkedIn there for you. And that's our half hour already. I mean, time flies by, and we could have gotten a lot more stuff in, but again, we would need 4 hours. So thank you for your attention. Follow us on Instagram, if you want to see some interesting food stuff. Follow Global Productions. Follow Facebook. Send us a note. Share, like, comment, ask, and we will always reply. We reply to every single question we get. So looking forward to hearing from you. Have a great rest of the Thursday. Bye-bye.